It's time for the Potawatomi Fire Coaches Corner, featuring three-time TBL Coach of the Year, Mark Danhoff, with special guest, fire forward and two-time TBL champion, Isaiah Wade. And now, here's the host of the Coaches Corner, Chris Cox.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Coaches Corner here on the Potawatomi Fire Broadcast Network. I'm Chris Cox. I'm joined by Fire head coach Mark Danhoff. Later on in today's show, I will be joined by Fire forward Isaiah Wade. But, Coach, starting with you, 2 more wins this weekend. It was business as usual for your Fire.
Yeah, we're trying to approach every weekend like it's a playoff weekend, whether it's back-to-back or a day in between, especially if there's a travel day, because you may have to play on the road the first game and then return back home. So our guys have been extremely focused, really excited about the direction we're trending, and look forward to this weekend.
Looking at that first game last Friday, the 121-96 victory over Little Rock, 25-point win, that looks good on paper, but I think when you watch the game, it wasn't necessarily the cleanest of wins for you guys, especially on the offensive end.
Yeah, we did a lot of really good stuff. We defended very well in a lot of areas. And on offense, we moved the basketball. We shared the basketball. We just were maybe a little bit careless at times.
Okay.
And both passing and catching, and on top of that, missing some easy baskets around the rim, wide open shots. If we put those in, and we take care of the basketball like we normally do, it would have felt a lot better than it did. But with that being said, playing what I guess I referred to as a little bit sloppy because we're usually a lot better than that, we still come out on the right side of the scoreboard and still played a very good game.
Yeah, you mentioned missing some easy ones inside. You still got plenty of points inside, though. 96 of your 121 points came inside the painted area. That doesn't even count the free throws that you made in that game as well. I mean, anytime you're scoring basically 2/3 of your points inside, 3/4 of your points inside, that's a recipe for success.
Yeah, and it's really one of the characteristics that we really stress in what we're trying to do offensively, and that's to pressure the rim, whether that's in transition or in the half court. We want to put a lot of pressure on that rim, and that means we have to play through the paint. That could be going through the post, that could be a scoring cut, or that could be reaching the paint through a drive or off the bounce, forcing help, and then making decisions from there to find open shooters. So a lot of good stuff happens for us when we reach the paint, whether it's we score in there or we kick it out for an open three.
I think basketball so much nowadays is played along the perimeter that when you have a team like the Fire who really forces things inside and forces the ball down low, it can kind of throw teams off. Have you noticed that a little bit?
I know the trend is gone to 5 out, and we can play that way. And there's been a lot more 3-point shots taken. I still haven't quite, bought into not taking that mid-range shot in the paint. I know that analytics is going to tell me, this is what you should do. It should be 3-pointers and layups. But when you've got guys who can pressure the rim and knock down anywhere from 5 to 17-foot jump shots out of the stuff we're running, I'm not going to stop them from doing that. I know a lot of analytics guys are going to say, well, would be better for you if you do this. But right now I'm sticking with the things that work for us.
Defensively against Little Rock, you already mentioned it, but y'all played a really good game against the Lightning. You held them to just 37% shooting from the field. You had 16 steals, 6 block shots. You forced 24 turnovers. I know that defense is something you've always pressed as a head coach, but it really feels like this team is rounding into a good form on the defensive end. Yeah,
we're really, coming into our own on the defensive end. In fact, practice today was really incredible. Just going over the things that, we wanted to talk about and cover going into this weekend, and the fact that, we pick things up so quickly and they're seeing what it is we're trying to do from the backside or on the ball side. So it was really impressive again today with a really good practice, but you can see even the new guys are starting to get a good feel for their rotations, when to go, when not to go. And at the same time, like you said, those statistics are very good. That's where the turnovers and the missed easy shots, didn't feel exactly right that night, but we really did a lot of very good things on both ends of the floor.
Switching gears and looking at Sunday's game against CYM, it was a much different game for your Fire, especially on the offensive end. You all were just hitting just about everything you wanted. Again, doing a lot of work inside, but 150 points against CYM. You shot over 60% from the field. By the way, that was 7th best in team history on Sunday. And then 42 assists, 3rd most in team history. On the defensive side, you all forced 18 steals and 31 turnovers. 18 steals and 31 turnovers, both tied or set a new team record as well. So
I didn't know that.
A complete game for your Fire. I didn't know that until today, but a complete game for your Fire.
Well, absolutely. I thought our guys came extremely focused, played really hard with a lot of energy. Obviously, Willie was out for the game, and he'll be back this week. But really pleased with our performance on both ends of the floor. I thought we shot the ball well, like you said. But really, we made 56 field goals, but we had 42 assists on 56 field goals, and that's very impressive. And I don't know where that sits in records or anything like that, but the fact that we were sharing the ball, moving the ball, had great spacing. CYM had trouble catching up with us. And I know they like to play fast pace, but so do we. So, but we continued to pressure the rim, got great shots, and guys knocked them down.
When you look at that game against CYM, you had 8 guys finish in double figures. Isaiah Wade led the team with 29 points. And with that, and with TJ Maston's 21 leading the way against Little Rock on Friday, you've had a different player lead the team in scoring every night. I mean, that really just highlights the depth that you have on this team.
Yeah, we're an equal opportunity offense. And we say that because you're right. We're deep. We've got a lot of guys who can do a lot of things on both ends of the floor. But offensively, they all can score the ball in a variety of different ways and at different levels. But the fact that we have had that many different leading scorers just talks, to the point where we're just sharing the basketball and executing the stuff we're doing on the offensive end, that we just make sure that everybody's involved. Chuck Guy does a great job of that, getting everybody involved, getting them in position where they can be successful. So that's probably the most impressive thing to me, is the number of assists off the number of field goals on Sunday. Even though our defense was very good, our offense was good. But I love hearing about the different guys leading and scoring. I love hearing about 42 assists in a game.
You look at your team, you're now, as crazy as it sounds, a quarter of the way through the regular season here in TBL, sitting at 5-0. You have to like where y'all stand right now.
Yeah, I'm pleased, especially over the last week and a half, seeing our growth. Just guys who we brought in this year who are now really getting a good feel for what we're doing offensively, what we're doing defensively, and the steps we're taking towards being a really, really good team.
Well, let's take another break, or take a break, I should say. And when Coach Danoff and I come back, we will talk about this weekend's slate of games as the Fire gets set to host the Dallas Stampede and CYM. This is the Coach's Corner here on the Potawatomi Fire Broadcast Network.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie Battershell, and I have relocated and continue serving family medicine clients at the Triad Complete Healthcare in Shawnee. I love what I do, and it's an honor to serve my patients. Please call Triad Complete Healthcare in Shawnee if I may be of service for you.
My name is Kama Watts, and at 36, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. In September of 2022, I was doing my monthly self-check and found a lump in my breast. I had a double mastectomy and was cleared of all cancer by December of 2022. And peek out for your chance at free admission. We hope to see you there.
Big internet companies make a lot of promises, but Vive's fiber-rich network delivers blazing fast multi-gig speeds without the big company runaround or inflated prices. To the big guys, you're just a number. To us, you're a neighbor. Vive Broadband, proud to be your hometown connection.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner here on the Potawatomi Fire Broadcast Network. I'm Chris Cox. I'm joined by 3-time TBL Coach of the Year, Mark Danoff. And Coach, you all have another weekend with another pair of games. It starts on Thursday this time, a short turnaround as y'all get set to host the Dallas Stampede.
Yeah, and we're really excited about it. We haven't seen Dallas yet live. Certainly seen them on film, but a chance to play another team that we haven't played yet. And then we'll turn around over the weekend and play CYM again, twice within the week. So we talked about it this morning in practice, just staying focused, respecting the game, respecting our opponents, and really respect winning. So to stay focused and continue to do the things we're doing and keep taking those steps forward.
Playing on a Sunday afternoon against CYM last week, Thursday night against the Dallas Stampede. It's one of the shorter turnarounds that you'll have this season. How do you make sure guys are ready for that game on Thursday with the relatively short turnaround?
Yeah, we took off yesterday and came right back today, had a really good practice. We kind of try to limit the minutes that we're going, so we're not going as long as normal. But I really feel like our team's in really good shape. We don't have a lot of, when we practice, it's 5-on-5, everything we do, and it's up and down. Even when we break things down, we try to go 5-on-5 and make it competitive. So we're playing hard the entire time we're in there.
Yeah. And
everybody's getting in great basketball shape, great game shape. So in that sense, we got to monitor that a little bit and not overdo it. But at the same time, still continue to do and work on the things we need to do to be successful.
Dallas comes into this game 1-4 on the season, and at least early this season, they've struggled to score the basketball, averaging just 98 points per game. What have you seen from Dallas's offense?
Well, they're very talented, and they have great spacing. They've got a lot of guys that can score the basketball. I think part of their issues early on is they didn't have a full roster of the guys they wanted.
Okay.
They've now added pieces that can really play and give them more of a scoring punch. And give them more depth to go along with them playing good defense. So I expect them to be a little bit different team. They had a few of those guys in this last weekend and expect a few more this weekend. So, I think that's a team that's going to continue to get better as the season goes on, as they add the pieces they need to be successful.
What have you seen from Dallas defensively?
Yeah, they're playing man-to-man. They play in the half court. They will pick you up full court and try to pressure you as much as they can. I think it looks to be more of, just to work you bringing the ball. Because they've also shown some zone press that we'll certainly pay attention to and get the ball where we need to get it to our outlets and then attack and pressure the rim from there. In the half court, they're really packing it in, trying to be in the gaps, trying to limit paint touches and challenging shots, and hopefully finishing with a rebound.
Following that game against Dallas on Thursday, you play CYM Saturday night. Obviously, you just saw CYM. Are there things that you saw from CYM on Sunday afternoon that you want to kind of be more aware of going into Saturday's game?
Well, I mean, they may add some pieces as well. I know they were missing a guy or two that had typically been playing with him throughout the season. They may be back. Certainly, I thought we played a very complete game. But they're going to come. They're going to play hard. They're never going to change the way they play. They're going to press the entire game. They're going to be very physical. They're not going to quit. They're going to try to get better and stick to the things they want to do for the entire 48 minutes. And certainly, Joel Polius is certainly a handful down there. I thought we did a pretty good job on him. He had less rebounds than he normally does. He had less offensive rebounds, than he averages. There were some times where we fouled him and put him at the free throw line. If we just clean that up, and the adjustment at halftime was, and they weren't supposed to be doing this to begin with, but we just didn't stand behind in the post, let them catch it, let them make a move. We got around the way we were supposed to, made it a little harder for those entry passes, and then we squared him up and made him make a move and try to make him score over the top of us. But he's a very good player, and he's going to get his points. He's going to get his rebounds.
Yeah.
He's certainly somebody that you have to be aware of all the time.
Your Fire set at 5-0. What's it going to take to get to 7-0 after this weekend?
Well, we got to remain focused. We got to respect winning, respect our opponents as always, and just go out there and do the things that we do on both ends of the floor at a high level with a lot of energy, a lot of activity, a lot of communication, and go out there and have fun.
All right, well, let's take another break. When I come back, I'll be joined by Fire forward Isaiah Wade. This is the Coach's Corner here on the Potawatomi Fire Broadcast Network.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie Battershell, and I have relocated and continue serving family medicine clients at the Triad Complete Healthcare in Shawnee. I love what I do, and it's an honor to serve my patients. Please call Triad Complete Healthcare in Shawnee if I may be of service for you.
My name is Kama Watts, and at 36, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. In September of 2022, I was doing my monthly self-check and found a lump in my breast. I had a double mastectomy and was cleared of all cancer by December of 2022. And peek out for your chance at free admission. We hope to see you there.
Big internet companies make a lot of promises, but Vive's fiber-rich network delivers blazing fast multi-gig speeds without the big company runaround or inflated prices. To the big guys, you're just a number. To us, you're a neighbor. Vive Broadband, proud to be your hometown connection.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner here on the Potawatomi Fire Broadcast Network. I'm Chris Cox. I'm now joined by Fire forward Isaiah Wade. And Isaiah, first off, thanks for sitting down with me today.
For sure, man. It's always an honor to be up here.
I want to start actually by going back to the end of last season. In the regional finals against Great Falls, you injured your shoulder. You had to miss the TBL finals. How hard was it for you to sit on the bench during the finals and watch your teammates? I know obviously you were happy with the outcome, but it had to be hard not being able to play.
Yeah, for sure. Extremely hard. But, the team that we got, they uplifted me. Every game I couldn't play and told me it was for me. So, just them going to get the job done explained a lot, and it just helped it feel a little better. We still got the ring, but it still, it still didn't feel like I was in there, like I should be. So, but, we going there for this year.
Did that give you any added motivation when you were going through rehab and getting ready for this season?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Everybody on the team, even people that's not here, always called and checked on me, made sure, rehab was going good, and, just make sure my mindset was right. Make sure I was still, mentally connected and into this basketball. So, they all played a big part in helping me recover.
Getting back to this season, you've obviously played a lot of basketball in a lot of different places, and I'm guessing most of the time you've always kind of been, at least when it comes to scoring, option number one, option number two.
For sure.
But on this team, your role is different. You're asked to do a lot of the dirty work, get rebounds, dive on the floor, play good defense. Mm-hmm. Is there any change in mentality when you're going from, okay, I need to score the basketball versus I need to do the little things, do some of that dirty work? No,
for sure. There's definitely a change in mentality. This is my second and a half year, if you want to call it like that. But just being able to develop and learn what my role is on this team. I can always score the basketball. It's not going to go nowhere, but it's about getting a W at the end of the day. We got Chuck Guy that can score the basketball whenever he wants. We got KD. We got a solid 11 that can score whenever. So in order to stand out and, on a team full of scorers, like what can I do where I can get on the floor, and that's rebound and play defense, for sure.
And, you did say that your time scoring the basketball will come, and it came last weekend, actually. You averaged 24 points, 11 rebounds. You shot almost 67% from the field over the past weekend. It really seems like with this team, and you were kind of alluding to it, it's not if your time's going to come, it's when your time's going to come, and then you have to be ready when it's there.
No, for sure. Practice always helps us be ready for when that time comes. We go against the best team in the TBL every day in practice. So, it just helps us hold ourselves up to those moments.
Yeah, talk a little bit more about practice, because it is, we've talked about the depth on this team with other guys throughout the season, but guys will mention how practice is so hard, but can you talk a little bit more about it? What makes Potawatomi Fire practices so unique?
It's a team full of dogs, and, when you get chippy with one another, it just makes it so intense. And, we treat it like it's more than just a TBL. Yeah. To some players, it is more than just a TBL. It's their career, but just every day going at each other, making sure that, you feel me, this person is ready for his moment, or this person is ready for this moment, because like you said, everybody's gonna have a moment on the team. So just iron sharpen iron.
This is your third season with the Fire. Now, how does this year's team stack up with the previous two that you were a part of?
It's different for sure. Usually we have about 6-7 returners. This time it's only 4. It's not even a starting 5.
Right. Yeah.
But I feel like it's opened our game up a little more. Very diverse. I feel like the last 2 seasons we had our core 5, so you kind of knew what to expect and knew how to try to guard it. It was still unguardable, but I feel like this year we can go so many different ways with what we got going on, you know, from the bench to, you know, Chuck usually plays, you know, 40 plus minutes, but he can sit down and now you're like, oh, yeah, what do we do now? You know, right, like usually it's to stop Chuck. No, we got a bench for, you know, whoever needs a break, and, you know, just people out there giving it their all because they know there's somebody behind them that can come make the next play.
Yeah, I think, you know, you look at the guard position, and you being a forward, you rely on those guards to get you the ball.
Yeah, for sure.
You look at the guard position, and in the past it had been Chuck Guy with a little bit of Deshaun Munson handling the basketball, but this year you have Chuck, you have Willie Warren, who's averaging almost 10 assists per game. Jamal McMurray is playing the point. I mean, you really have, and then of course KD can play the point from too. So you have 4 different guys really that can handle the ball, and I think, like you were saying, that versatility just makes this team hard to defend.
No, for sure. You don't know what to expect. You don't really know who's going to be the one scoring in each game. You know, somebody can have 0 or 2 points one game, and then the next game have 29, 30, you know, like it just works like that. You know, it's a game of runs, and with the team that we got, we always going to go on the run for sure. It's just about the defensive side.
When you look at the defensive side, how can you impact that game, that side of the ball?
Just staying in gaps, you know, my position as a forward, my man's not really bringing the ball up. So it's more so being alert, being talkative on that backside. If a screen's coming, letting them know where the screen's coming from, and, you know, just trying to be in the right position to make the right play.
And finally, Isaiah, what are some of the areas that you like that your team's doing so far? And then what are some of the areas that you want to see this team improve on as y'all get further into this regular season?
I love how we share the ball. I love how, you know, even the bench players, they're talking on the sideline, getting our players going. You know, if we miss a shot, they're not worried about missing a shot because it's going to happen in basketball. But somewhere I want to see us grow that I feel like we're not even doing bad right now is defense. I feel like we have a motor on our defense. Like it's crazy. Like, I don't know. I can't even explain it. But, I mean, once we bite down and really lock into the main goal and, you know, like really play defense and, you know, stop the ball from moving around, we're gonna be tough. Like we haven't played our best game yet at all, and we still got a couple more kinks to get out, but it's gonna get wicked for sure.
All right, Isaiah. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That's going to do it for this edition of the Coach's Corner. The Potawatomi Fire back in action twice this weekend. First, tomorrow night, Thursday, the Fire will take on the Dallas Stampede. And then on Saturday night, the Fire will take on CYM once again. Both those games right here inside Fire Lake Arena. Both games will tip off at 7 p.m. And also one other date just to kind of keep y'all aware of and to be looking out for. April 9th, that's going to be our annual Pink Out game as the Fire host the Enid Outlaws that night here inside Fire Lake Arena. You can get tickets to any of those games or all remaining Fire home games at PottawatomiFire.com/tickets, or you can just call the Fire Lake Arena box office and we'll be able to help you out there. That's going to do it for us today. Again, don't forget to follow the Fire on social media. For Fire forward Isaiah Wade and head coach Mark Danoff, I'm Chris Cox, and I'll talk to you next time right here on the Potawatomi Fire Broadcast Network.